Hi, it's Sarah here from Crafting and Stamping, and I'm back with another quick tip. And my tip today is about using our different embossing powders to do a multicoloured bit of heat embossing. So I've got my happy birthday stamp here, and this is from the a grand kid set. And let me show you the embossing powders, because the embossing powders now come in a set of 3. There's either the basics, which is black, clear and white, or today I'm going to be using the metallics, which has got copper, gold and silver. You get the 3 different colours in the pack for £17. So I'm going to be using all 3 metallics today. Now they actually come in a little pot like this, but what I do is I actually pop them into an old sort of takeaway container, just to make them a little bit easier to use. So you don't have to, you can easily sift things back into a little tub like this, but like I say, that's what I happen to do. So I'm going to just start by tapping this with an embossing buddy. Unfortunately, we don't carry these anymore. That's just so that we don't get little flecks sticking to things. And I'm going to use my Versamark ink pad to ink up the sentiment. So I'm going to give that a lot of light tapping to make sure that that is good and inked. And then we'll get this stamped onto my panel. So I want to make sure that I get it straight. I'm actually putting it a little bit over to the right and down because I've got a little embellishment to use up in the other corner. And I just hold it there for a few seconds to make sure that the ink has transferred well. And you can actually just about make it out on there anyway. So what we do to get the multicoloured embossing, I'm just going to use a tiny strip. Now this is the first one, so we don't need to worry quite so much about this. So I'm just going to grab, I've always got little strips of card on my desk. Let me find one that is just a little strip of white. I've always got strips of card on my desk. This will do. And I'm just going to use this as a little sort of spoon and pop it just over here. So I'm going to tap that off. So we've got our copper on that side. So I'll move that out of the way now, and I'm going to, and because we'd only use that one colour, I've sifted it straight back into the box. Now I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I'm going to use my gold. Just make sure that that spoon, as it were, is nice and clean. And I'm going to scoop up some of my gold. And this time I'm going to do it over here because I just want to, and I should have put my spoon a bit closer to the, that's gone a little bit over where I wanted it to, but never mind. And we'll tap the rest of that off. So my silver unfortunately isn't going to go quite where I wanted it to. This is when it's on camera. So then, because there could be a bit of copper in there, I'm going to scoop that back into there. It's just an empty little pot that I've got, and it will end up being a mix of metallics. And I can use that then for a different project, and it would just be mixed metallics. It won't be silver, it won't be gold, it will be a mixture. So I've got that, and now I'm going to just turn that around and get a little scoop of my silver and come at it from this direction. I'm just tapping lightly to get the excess off. So I'm just going to put these out of the way so that my heat tool doesn't blow these specks around. Like I say, I'm putting the silver in with the gold. There could be a mix already because we've mixed them up on the card. So I've now got a mix of silver and gold, and that'll be fun to use on a different project. So now I get my heat tool and get it warming up. Excuse the sound. And I wait until I know that it's getting warm. Be careful that you don't burn your fingers. I usually use a peg for this, and I'm not quite sure where I've put my peg, because it's good to avoid burning your fingers. And then I'm going to heat until it starts melting, and you can see it start to melt. And there we have our mixed metallic embossing. So that is just another way that you can use your embossing powders to get a different effect. I hope that tip helps. Please subscribe to my channel for future quick tips, and thank you for stopping by.